kita yung screen, just let me know ha. Kasi ay puro drawing to, so you have to see really the screen. Okay, so we started the discussion last time with image formation and curved mirrors. So we defined curved mirrors. We have two kinds, which are the concave and then the convex mirror. So sabi natin din last time, when we say concave mirror, so we have here the reflective surface bulging away from the light source. So ang light source natin for this illustration, we assume that on position at the left of the image. So nandito po si object mo or the light source. Again, every object becomes a light source. And then, yung ating concave mirror ay nagbabulge away from the light source. So, palubog siya na ganyan. Okay, and then it is also called converging mirror kasi at some point, okay, those light that would come, or light rays that would come from the object will soon be converged. Okay, iipunin siya towards a single point called the focal point or yung F. Okay? On the other hand, the convex mirror bulges towards the light source. So, kung nandito yung light source sa kaliwa, papunta yung inyong curve or yung bulge ng inyong reflective surface is towards the light source. So, it is also called diverging mirror kasi yung light, okay, nire-reflect siya as if it is coming from a single point called the focus. Again, nire-reflect siya nung diverging mirror na parang nanggagaling yung light doon sa focus. So, yung kanyang direction or yung kanyang yung angle, okay, it is as if coming from a single point called the focus. Okay, so we also have discussed the different notations, okay, symbols, and then the names so that we can easily describe, okay, the images that will be formed. So, clarifications on this, okay, tandaan po natin. So last time na nakalagay dito ay principal axis. I clarified naman on my discussion. It is called principal axis. So this line, okay, the horizontal line that is perpendicular to your reflecting surface is called the principal axis. It gives us a guide on which direction, okay, our light is moving, okay? Then ito yung mirror natin, whether it is a concave or a convex mirror, it must be perpendicular to the principal axis. And then sabi natin, this concave and convex mirrors are part of a sphere. So, pag in-extend natin siya, illustrating the sphere, ito yung itsura niya. Bali, parang kinuha lang natin yung isang portion that gives us the mirror. So, from the mirror, okay, we have here a point that is intersecting, okay, the principal axis. We call this the pole. For other references, sabi ko nga, you can read them or you can see them as the vertex. So, wag malilito, pole at saka vertex would be the same. And then, of course, having a circle, it has a center here, okay, that gives us the distance of this point to the mirror as the radius. And then, if you divide this distance into two, we have here a single point or a specific point, okay, we name as F or the focus. So we can identify here that the distance from C and F will be the same as the distance of F from P. So equal lang yung haba nito dapat. Okay, so same then for the convex mirror, you have the principal axis and then the pole as the intersection between the principal axis and the convex mirror. Have the center, dito naman sa case natin, nasa kabila. Kahit saan naman ilagay yung object, sa kaliwa or sa kanan. So, depending on the source of light, doon haharap yung mirror. Ang mirror ang mag-a-adjust, hindi yung object. Okay? So, dito, nandito yung object natin, usually sa left. So, yung center niya, nandito sa right. Kasi ay convex mirror siya. So, ito yung circle na binubuo niya. Okay, so these are the notations for image formation. So, kailangan natin mamaya para pag-describe natin at pag-follow ng rules. Okay? So, we also identified 4 rules to follow, okay, in forming the images in curved mirrors. So, sabi natin sa rule number 1, When a ray parallel to the principal axis strikes concave or convex mirrors, the reflected ray passes through the focus on the principal axis. So I may say, I call this rule the PF rule. So PF rule means, again, from the illustration, so kung ito si concave mirror natin, again, nandito si object natin sa point na ito. Na rin nandyan si object. We denote the object as an arrow din para simple lang. Kapag may object ka, and then you have here a light ray parallel to the principal axis. Ito si principal axis. You have light ray. Sabi dito, it will be reflected passing through the focus of the on the principal axis. So this light ray will be reflected by the mirror towards the focus. Okay, kahit saan pa yung point, kahit galing pa yun dito sa gitna, pag tumama siya dito, since it's parallel, papunta siya lagi sa focus. Kasi nga, di ba, sabi natin, concave is a converging mirror. Okay, so that is rule number 1. Again, we call this the PF rule. Ito ay gawa-gawa ko lang para madali lang nating matandaan. PF rule. Next, for rule number 2, so we have here a ray passing through the center of curvature of the spherical mirror will retrace its path after the reflection. So again, we have here a light source, we have here an object. Okay? Yung light ray that would come from this point towards the center ay babalik lamang din sa center. Okay? So you can see that from the arrowhead. Ganun din dito, if you have convex mirror, dito naman sa convex mirror natin, if you have here the object, okay, it will hit the mirror as if tatamaan niya yung center, nakadiretso siya sa center. Pero ito, this one would be just, ano lang, parang kumbaga imagination. Okay? Kung ganyan yung kanyang direction na tatama siya sa center, it will just be reflected back on the same direction, the same angle. Okay? So we call this rule the CC rule. Center, center. Papunta sa center, babalik sa center. Next, rule number 3. When a ray passing through focus strikes concave and convex mirror, the reflected ray will pass parallel to the principal axis. So this one is the reverse of the other one. So we have here the FP rule. FP. Pupunta sa focus, reflected parallel. So for a concave mirror, so again, may object tayo dito. May light ray that is coming from the tip, papunta sa focus. Since dumaan siya sa focus, it will be reflected by the mirror parallel to the principal axis. Yung reflection niya ngayon magiging tuwid at parallel sa principal axis. Okay? Pagdating naman po sa convex mirror, you have here the, again, the light source or the object. Wait lang. Tama-tama pala ako. And then, from here, ay, teka lang, ito pala ang light. Mali ako. Hindi pala dyan yung object. Kasi ay, titingnan nyo yung direction ng light rays. Ito yung object. Laki niya pala dito. Okay? So sabi dito, if you have daw the object and then there is a light ray that is hitting the mirror directed to the focus. Para siyang papunta sa focus. Take note of my terms ha. Parang papunta lang. Kasi ibig sabihin, hindi naman talaga siya dediretso doon. Pero on your illustration, you can draw naman para at least hindi kayo malito. It will be reflected parallel. Okay? To the, parallel to the principal axis. Okay? So, ganun po. Medyo nakakalito yung sa convex, pero same rules yung pina-follow niya. Okay po tayo doon sa rule number 3. So again, when you have questions, you take note of them on your notes and then we'll go back at them after this discussion. And then for the rule 4, I have to also clarify this portion of my discussion last time kasi mali yung illustration na nalagay ko. When a ray strikes concave or convex mirrors obliquely at its pole, it is reflected obliquely. When we say obliquely, in the same manner. So if we have here the object at this location, okay, we have a light ray that is coming from the tip. Tumama siya doon sa pole or doon sa vertex. What would happen is, it will be reflected in the same angle, okay, as the incident angle. So in that case, kung pag ganito siya, okay, pababa yung reflection natin. Dapat ditong angle na na-form ng incident ray together with the principal axis would be the same as the angle that will be formed. Okay, so dapat parehas yan ng angle. A very good technique that you can use para sigurado kayong same yung angle kasi mahirap talaga gumamit din ng protractor minsan. What you can do is, dapat, okay, so, yung sa Sokotowa na tinatawag natin, para mag-same sila ng angle or the, ang tawag dito, theorem on angle congruence, natandaan nyo sa grade 9, okay, para maging parehas yung angle nitong katapat na to, dapat ito, kita natin ang kulay. Dapat itong taas na to or itong pagkabuka na to nung ray mo would be the same as this one. So kung ang height nito kunwari sa graphing paper ay 10 boxes, dapat ito 10 boxes din to. Okay, so that they would have the same angles. And then same for the convex mirror. If you have your object here, okay, a light ray passing through the pole or the vertex would be reflected, okay, obliquely or in the same manner or in the same angle. Okay, so that is rule number 4. Okay, so an important note in the image formation in concave mirrors, you have to know that the image form is depending on the location of the object from the mirror. So kapag tumitingin kayo sa mirror, specifically sa concave mirrors or yung spherical mirrors natin, nag-iiba-iba yung image natin. That is depending on our location in front of the mirror. So kung malapit ba tayo or malayo tayo sa mirror, magbabago yung ating image. So let us now look at how images are formed. So I'll be showing you technically, I'll demonstrate technically kung paano natin siya ginagawa. Okay? Although I have also simulations here, but at least you can see how it is done. Kasi for the next part of the discussion, you really have to know how to illustrate these images. Okay? Yan. So, I have here an illustration. So, kinapi ko lang. You have there the, a concave mirror, and then you have here yung mga notations natin. Okay, teka lang. In-adjust ko lang ng konti. Mali kasi yung sizing ni ma'am. Okay. Nice. Okay, so we have here a concave mirror. And then, of course, you have to take note of these symbols. You have C, and then you have F. C dapat ay yung center nito. So you can set this, okay, however it is indicated. And then the focus, dapat i-divide nyo itong distance na ito or itong haba na ito so that you can get the focus. So say for example, I have here an object. So sabi natin, for objects, we use only arrows para mas madali yung ating notation. So what I have here, I'll be using a red object. And in that case, I'll be placing the object, lakihan ko para kitang-kita nyo. Okay? Beyond C. When I say beyond C, hindi si Beyonce na ano ha. Beyond C. Ibig sabihin, lagpas siya kay C. So, ito yung object natin. Okay? When we say object, that would be the source of the light. Okay po? And then let us take note here of the rules para hindi natin makalimutan. You have the PF rule. PF rule, the CC rule, the FP rule, and then the VV rule. Okay, ito yung 4 na rules na ipa-follow natin for mirrors. Take note of this one, for mirrors. So sabi natin sa rule number 1, you have a parallel ray. Okay, let's use orange. Okay, parallel ray that is passing through or parallel, a ray that is parallel to the principal axis, so tuwid. Sabi dyan, it will be reflected towards where? Sabi PF. So, papunta daw sa focus. So, yung light ray mo, mapupunta siya dito. So, dadaan dapat siya sa focus. The next one is the CC rule. For the CC rule, okay, let us use yellow. So, sabi dito, lahat daw ng light rays that will be passing through the C or the center will just be reflected back. So, isang guhit lang na ganyan. Kasi parang papunta sa C, babalik lang din sa C. So, I hope you can see the illustration. Pag hindi nakikita, sabihin sa akin. And then, for the next rule, you have here the FP rule. For the FP rule, you have here a light ray daw. Ay, let us use green. Ay, sorry. Look. Okay, so you have here, ay, pambihira. Sige na nga, yellow na yan. Green na yan. You have here light that is coming from the tip. Again, isa lang pinaggagalingan ko. Pupunta daw siya sa focus. What would happen is that the mirror will reflect it. How would the mirror reflect? Hindi ako magpapantay. Lagyan ko dito ng imaginary line kasi pag talaga oblique, pagka talaga curved yung mirror, ang hirap i-drawing. Malaki kasi pala yung center ko, so lalagpas siya. So, kunwari ito na yung concave mirror, yung dilaw, ha? It would be the same. Gawin natin siyang purple. So, from focus. Tatama sa focus. Extend ko dito sa yellow kasi ay maliit yung nagawa ni ma'am na mirror. Dapat mas malaki. Dapat nga itong orange ay ano din. Nagagets nyo ba? Kasi kung ito yung center, dapat malaki. Malaki yung bilog mo. Kasi malaki yung radius eh. Ang nangyari, iba yung sizing ni ma'am. Let's redo it. Gawin ko na lang na ito yung mirror, yung dilaw. Kasi ay sala yung size ko. Again, kaya ko lang inulit kasi sala yung size ko, ha? Mano-mano lang kasi yan. Yan. Yung dilaw yung i-follow natin as the mirror. So, if you have here, again, PF. Ilagpas ko dun sa dilaw. Pwede yung gawin to para hindi kayo malito. Again, papasa focus. Tapos, the next one would be CC. And then, you have here FP. FP. Ito. So, tinama ko ulit sa dilaw kasi ayun yung mirror na natin ngayon, hindi na yung kanina. Okay, it will be reflected parallel, sabi natin, doon sa principal axis. And then the last one for the VV. Okay, so we have here the vertex or the pole. Lahat daw ng light rays that would pass dito. Usually, hindi na nagagamit yung VV. Kasi lagi siyang kakaiba sa, sa ating mga illustrations. So, dyan, it will be reflected back. Naka-follow tayo sa rules. Can you see the screen?
Opo.
Okay, so ito na siya. And then sabi nga natin, to identify where the image is formed, you have to take note of the intersection of the lines. So in this case, ang intersection ng lines natin is at this portion. Tama? Sabi ko nga kanina na wala, ba't naging white yun? Si Vivi, nawala. Si Vivi. Si Vivi, binalik ko lang. Ayan. So, yung intersection niya would now be on this point. So, we can identify this one as yung ating image. So, ganito yung magiging image niya. So, from the intersection, gawa kayo ng line, pabalik doon sa principal axis. And you have to take note, kung nasaan yung intersection, that would become the head of the object. Laging ganon. Kung nasaan ang intersection, ayun yung head ng object. So, in that case, this would now be the image form. Okay? Of, from a concave mirror. Tapos, yung object natin is beyond C. Okay? So, how can we now describe this one? Sabi natin, we use the notations lost or LOST. So, starting from the location, when we say location, okay, nasan daw yung image na na-form natin? So, since meron na tayo dito notations such as C and F, you can use them as references. So, in that case, we can see or we can identify the image between C and F. Okay, nasa gitna daw po siya ni C at saka ni F. And then for the orientation, anyone, when you say orientation, it has to be upright or inverted. So from the image formation, ano po yung na-form natin? Sige, speak out, class. Is it upright or inverted? Ito si image, yung nagawa niyong image. Siya ba ay nakatayo, nakatiwari? Hello?
Inverted po.
Okay, so that is inverted or nakabaliktad. Very good. And then for the size, can you see the size? What do you think? Do they have the same sizes?
Lumiit po.
Okay, so parang mas maliit siya, no? So that is reduced, of course. And then for the type, is it real or virtual? Again, when we say real, yung image natin na form from the reflected light. Kapag virtual naman, yung image natin is formed by the extension of the reflected light. So in that case, real or virtual?
Virtual po.
Are you sure? Ulit, real, gawa siya dun sa mga reflected light, dun sa mga binalikong light. Kapag ka virtual, gawa siya dun sa extension. Usually, ang ating notation for the extension ay yung mga dash, yung ina-extend natin dun sa kabilang side. Real, virtual.
Real po.
Okay, so this is a real. So, nag-base lang tayo dito sa ating image. So, this is how images are formed in, okay, concave mirror. Tapos, nandun yung object natin beyond the beyond C or beyond the center of the mirror. Okay? So, I have also here simulation so we can see better drawings. Okay, better illustrations for you to use as references to identify how these images are formed in this concave mirror. Talagay ko dito yung ginawa natin. And then let us see yung ating, okay, so before we end, ako sabi ko ay, ayan. Ito nga lang baliktad, ha? Nakita niyo na yung screen. Baliktad nga lang siya, pero same lang din yung principle na ginagamit. Nandun lang sa kaliwa. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, mag-a-adjust si salamin. Kasi since nandito yung object mo, tas concave yung gusto natin, ihaharap natin siya, yung mirror mo, doon sa kabilang side. So, sabi natin kanina, beyond C. So, ito si F. So, ang C mo ay ito dapat. Itong points, 2 points after F. So, sabi natin, lagay daw natin siya dito. Beyond C. Alet, ito si F. So, dalawang linya. So, that is C. Tapos, nilagay natin si object natin. Itong medyo mas opaque natin na kandila. So, that is the object. So, nilagay natin siya sa beyond C. Okay? So, base sa image formation, ayan yun. PF, VV, Ito ay C. Dalawa lang yung ginamit niya. Pero same rules or principles pa din siya. So, what can you say about the image form? So, itong medyo naka-dash na candle. Okay? So, of course, for the location, ganun din. Ito si C, ito si F. So, that is between C and F. And then, for the orientation, it is inverted. For the size, as you can see, it is, of course, smaller or reduced. And then, for the type, since we have here reflected rays, wala tayong extension. So, this one is a real image. Okay, so that is how you form images on concave mirrors. So for our next discussion, we'll be focusing on convex and then let's see kung aabot natin yung ating lenses. Okay, so clarifications on the steps or the guidelines. So medyo ano talaga siya ha. Yung nga sabi ko sa inyo, technical, paulit-ulit ako. You have to demonstrate really in details. Okay, how you do that? Mali yung isa, kagaya yung kanina, sala yung size ko ng mirror. So, anong nangyari? Nagkakaiba yung orientation. So, that would result to having different image form. So, mag-iiba yung size, mag-iiba